In this video, we're going to take a look at the options in the rows and columns group here. We're on the table layout tab, which has to do with modifying the structure of a table. So we're going to look at the rows and columns group. We're going to look at the merge group here, and we'll consider the other options in another video. So the first thing over here is the delete option, and I am going to select two cells right here in the middle of my table, and we're going to try some of the options. So if I say delete cells, it needs to know whether it should move cells up or whether it should move cells to the left. We will choose move cells to the left. And when you do that, you're going to end up with a gap in your table here. So I don't think that's something you're going to want very often, just to delete some of the cells. A more likely thing to do would be to merge some of the cells together and still keep every row the same width. So let's undo that. And let's try some of the other options. With those two cells selected, if I say delete columns, it'll delete February and March for me. Slide everything over. Let's undo that. If I say delete rows, it'll delete that row for me. And let's undo that. And if I say delete table, it will delete the entire table. Let's undo that. You might be tempted to try to delete the whole table by selecting everything like this and then hitting the delete key, which I'm going to do right now. And that does not do what you might expect it to do. It just deletes the contents of the cells. It does not delete the entire table, even though we've got the entire table selected. So let's undo that. And the way to delete it is either to go up here and choose delete table, or select the whole thing here and right click. And basically we get the same options here that we had up here, and you can choose delete table and it will get rid of the table. Okay, let's undo that. Then we can insert. If you want to insert above, that's what this will do. It doesn't have to be at the top of the table. It could be in the middle. It doesn't have to be just one row. If you select two rows, you can insert two rows. So if I do insert above, I get two rows inserted above. If I want to insert below, and I've got two selected, I'll get two inserted below. And let's undo both of those. If I want to insert columns, let's say I want to insert two columns here. Let's select the columns, and then let's do insert to the left. I'll get two blank columns inserted to the left. And if I select these two again and do insert to the right, now I'll get two columns inserted to the right. And notice that it is shrinking the column widths in order to keep everything to fit on the page for you. Let's undo both of those two changes. Now we're back to our original table. And now let's take a look at merge cells. Actually, before we do that, let's insert a new row above. The other way to insert rows, by the way, is to go over here to the end of a row. And if you click here, I've got that selected. Now let's try undoing that. You'll see a little plus sign, and so that will let you insert a row at that point as well, so that might be a little quicker. Let's undo that. If you're on the top, you can get a plus sign to insert a column like that. Let's undo that. But if I want to insert something above here, I click in the top row and then just go to insert above, and now I've got a blank line inserted above. Okay, let's choose merge cells. So let's say that this top row here is going to be a title for my entire table. Let's select everything that's here and let's choose merge cells, and it will make them into one continuous cell instead of 5. And let's put a title in here. So let's do my budget. And we can probably want to center that. Let's go. We've got some alignment options here that we'll cover in another video, but we'll quickly center it like that. If you want to go the other way and you want to split cells, you can click on split cells here, and the default is to split it into 2. Let's go ahead and take that and click on OK. So it divides into 2 evenly sized. Let me undo that, and let's try splitting cells again. This time I'll choose 5 to try to get it back to where I was originally. And now it's back at the original structure, but it did make this first row a little bit taller, so we didn't lose sight of some of that text that's in there. And we can split a table into 2 if we want to. So let's go down to the bottom here. Let's say I wanted to split this into a table of 3 rows at the top and another table of these bottom 3 rows. If I go here and click on split table, it will just basically make 2 tables out of that and put a paragraph in between, a blank paragraph in between. So if I hover or click in this table, I'll get the table selector. And if I click up here, I'll get the table selector for that table. So I've got two separate tables here. So that takes care of the rows and columns group and the merge group, and we'll take a look at some of these other options in another video.